Chef Kate here in the kitchen, and I'm excited to share with you this slow cooker creamy chicken soup, which is so easy, it practically makes itself. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna do with this recipe is I'm gonna trim up some chicken breast. I like to trim off any extra sinew or anything like that on a chicken breast because it just takes away from that nice chewy bite, right? So you're gonna take those chicken breasts and simply trim them, get off any excess. You could totally use like a boneless, skinless chicken thigh for this recipe. Those work great as well. But once you've got your trimmed up chicken breast, you're gonna season those with a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And this is about 1.5 pounds of chicken. And sometimes chicken breasts are thin cut, sometimes they're thick cut. So about 1.5 pounds either way. Once you've got those seasoned up, you're gonna head over to the stove. Using a large skillet, we're gonna turn on our heat to about medium-high heat and add in a tablespoon of olive oil. With our oil hot in the pan, we are gonna place those chicken breasts in there, and they're gonna cook for about 5 to 7 minutes per side. What you're looking for is some beautiful browning. While our chicken's cooking, I like to prep my vegetables by simply dicing 1 white onion. And however thick or thin you want to dice your onion, that's up to you. In my house, I like to do it really small so my kids don't know that it's in this soup. They love the flavor, but they don't love the texture. So small little bits for my house. But if you love big chunky onion pieces, then chop it big. And as I chop these vegetables, I'm going to just simply add them straight to the crock pot. So in goes the onion, and then I'm gonna do about 3 to 4 carrots. We've got a weird carrot today, but you know what? I don't love to peel my carrots because I feel like there's flavor in the outside of that carrot. Of course, wash them, make sure there's no debris on them, but I don't honestly peel my carrots. But if you wanna peel your carrots, you do you. Time to flip our chicken. And I love browning on chicken. It's such an important flavor profile. I mean, you can just simply use pre-shredded chicken or leftover rotisserie chicken, but getting browning on your chicken is a flavor profile that your soup is really gonna benefit from. Another addition to the soup that we're adding in is 4 ribs of celery. I like to simply slice them down the center so the pieces are not so big, because really, when you're cutting your vegetables for soup, you gotta think about all the components that are in your soup, and you want each of those components in a spoonful. So make those pieces small enough to fit on the spoon. Now garlic is something I love in my soups, and I'm going for about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Of course, you can use the jarred stuff. I ain't gonna judge, it's your food, but I love the fresh stuff. In addition to our chopped vegetables, we're gonna add in 6 cups of chicken broth to that slow cooker, 2 cups of heavy cream. And if you wanted a lighter option, you could use half and half. I like the richness that the heavy cream brings to this though. This is also optional, but a half a cup of cooking wine sure brings about a depth to this dish, and it is delicious. But if you didn't wanna use that, that's totally fine. And we're gonna add in 4 bay leaves, and people might think you don't even taste them, but you do. It's a subtle flavor that you might not even recognize, but it is a perfect addition to many, many soups. So get yourself some bay leaves. We're gonna sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of dried sage, 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, a half a teaspoon of dried thyme. And then to give this soup a velvety smoothness, we're gonna make a cornstarch slurry. And to do that, we're gonna be using 1/4 cup of water with 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and that needs to be cold water. You're going to simply whisk that together until it is smooth. There's no more chunks left. And then we're gonna pour that into the slow cooker. Give everything a mix. We'll get those herbs blended in. And we're gonna check on our chicken, which is done and ready to be shredded. It's really hot at the moment, so I wanna let it cool just a little bit. So go ahead and remove the chicken from that skillet. And the best way to shred chicken, I find, is just using 2 forks. And we're going to dump this chicken straight into the slow cooker. Dump that right in there. I mean, this soup is not even cooked yet, but I want to eat it right now. Now that is pretty dang easy to put this together. All that simple chopping, cook the chicken, throw it in the pot, and just put the lid on and let it cook for 4 to 5 hours on high or 6 to 8 hours on low. The soup is finished cooking and it smells so good. I can hardly wait to dive in. The carrots are perfectly tender. The onions have cooked down beautifully. And of course, that chicken is just so perfect. Make sure you remove those bay leaves. I love to garnish this with just a little bit of parsley, and it brings about a brightness and a freshness to it. So simple, so easy. It basically cooked itself. If you give it a try, give us a review on our website.